Happy Saturday. Okay, so confession number 2. Since I developed this, I guess, not trusting people sort of type of thing, I not trusting people, just like not really being as compassionate as I once was, which led me to not really trying to make friends and then keep them. Uh, I do not keep in touch with people. Like, I just don't. So, I was never able to, like, really keep friends very long just because it was kind of like it was a fear, I guess, that they didn't want to hang out with me anyway. Just because there were several times where I did try, but then it was like, I would be left out on some occasions, or like it was like a progressive sort of thing where I would be left out of like outings or whatever would happen, or like if I wasn't left out, I was stood up or something like that. So it was very discouraging. So eventually, I just gave up. I was like, okay, forget it. I won't. I won't even make an effort. Now, of course, people come and go, right? You're not gonna be best friends with everybody, but like the first time this happened, and it just kept happening, was like, well, I mean, that one doesn't count. Let's go to the next time. The next time that this happened, it was completely, I guess, my fault because I was banned. I ended up getting banned from calling friends. Like, this was like elementary school, where, I had to get permission to call somebody. So I had this friend. It was just one friend. I've only always had one friend, one or two, maybe. It was always just pretty much one. I don't think I could handle more than one, to be honest. But anyway, so I got permission to call this one friend. And, excuse me, if I look tired, it's because I am. And, we were learning about phone etiquette and things like that. So I forgot to say something, along the lines of being, having etiquette. And so my dad was like, oh, because I didn't say whatever it was I was supposed to say, I was banned from ever calling that person again. And so I never called her again. So we kind of just drifted apart after that. Like, stopped being friends. And I mean, there were others, like, just a few. Like, in between, then and now, there were just a few. But each one, it either, like, it ended up being like she became jealous for one reason or another, or we just drifted apart. We weren't really like, I don't know. It was kind of like I only would see a certain side of this person, and then when they were with someone else, then it was this other different side, and I was never like invited to, like, I guess, the wild stuff that they would do, which was cool, I guess, because I probably wouldn't have been okay participating. But, and then I got older, then it was like, I was doing my own wild stuff. But then, I would get friends. I just had this one friend, honestly, and she ended up being shady, jealous, whatever it was. And we drifted apart. So it was kind of hard for me to, like, really, like, want to have friends and then keep them. I mean, because from early on, it was like I wasn't able to really keep in touch. So I didn't have that practice of actually doing it. Like, I didn't even get a phone until, well, 8th grade. But then it was like, I just wanted to talk to boys. honestly. So it was like, what was the point of having a friend, female friend or whatever? There was no point, and not to me anyway. So, fast forward, right? Um, so I get married, okay, again. So this is the second one I'm talking about, not the first one. God. So the second marriage I'm talking about, we're still married. That's my husband that I'm talking about, that I would be talking about in my videos. And so he's got like a completely different personality from me. But we are similar, there's that. But the main difference is he knows how to be a good friend, honestly. Um, and so from that, I actually learned, and I'm still learning, how to genuinely be concerned for people. Like, I don't know why that sounds so bad. Like, I'm not, but I am. But it's like, I don't put that into practice. Like, I'll think about somebody and be like, oh, I wonder how they're doing. And instead of like actually hitting them up and actually seeing how they're doing, it'll just be like a thought that just goes in and out. That sounds really bad. Confessions. But it's true. So I'm like, I've been learning how to actually like keep in touch with people. Like, okay, so really big difference. So when I was growing up, my family, we only had like one family friend, and that person that only came around our house like a few times. But the only other people that ever really came over to our house to like visit was our grandparents. So I didn't really grow up with a lot of people in the house. It was just be us, the family. And then because we were like poor, we were poor, but okay, it wasn't like poverty poor, but it was like struggling middle class, I guess. Whatever. You know, we didn't have any money to go anywhere, honestly, other than the movies. Like, we didn't go on vacation. Like, we didn't really do anything like that. It was just, we went to the movies like almost every weekend, or we would go out to eat, or, things like that. It wasn't like, and we would drive all over the city, but it wasn't like we actually, and then we would go to LA to visit family, but it wasn't, that was pretty much it. Until, like, I grew up and I actually went to college, and I would be doing things on my own. Like, as a family, when we were younger, we didn't really do stuff like that. So, I only really have had experience just hanging around my family. So, but my brother would go, and he would like go out, and because he's like 2 years older, so he would just, he had a job, so he would like go out, and then they like make excuses to go out. But like, before that freedom, it's kind of like it was stale. So I understood why he did that, because it was boring just being at home. Like, we didn't go anywhere. I mean, we did, but it was just like, we wanted to go on vacation. I wanted to go on vacation. I wanted to like, oh, we went on vacation one time, and it wasn't even all that. It was whatever. So it was kind of like, and of course I want to do things differently with my kids, so that's not the goal. The goal is way better than that. But that's what I'm learning too. But let's stay focused, stay on the task. So because of that, right, I'm more, that's what I'm comfortable with, I guess. I'm more comfortable with not having a lot of people over. But when I got married the second time, hella people were coming over. And I'm like, okay. So I knew he had friends and everything like that. Like, he was the type of person who, knew everybody, or a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people. Like, and I've always had friends like that. I guess that's just because I'm the opposite. So I would just attract, my opposite. And the opposite was, they knew a lot of people, so they're very sociable and all that stuff. And yeah. So all of a sudden, one after the other, people are just coming in and out the house. Like, and it would be his friends, like, or his family. And I'm just like, who's this person? Oh, okay. Who's that person? Oh, okay. But it was always somebody new that I didn't know, or, or it would, so, and then when they would come over, it would be more consistent. Like, it would be the same person. But still, there were still new people coming. And I'm like, damn. And then it was like, I said this, I brought it up, like, hey, like, there's a lot of people coming and over. Like, it's kind of uncomfortable a little bit. I'm not used to this. Like, I'm in my pajamas. I'm in my whatever. I'm not even dressed. Like, you're just letting them around our kids. Like, what is going on? So, I'm saying this and I'm like, how do I sound? Do I sound like a biatch? I'm not trying to, but it's like, dang, like, we didn't talk about this before we even got married. I didn't even know this was something we should have talked about. And so I'm like, okay. So he's just like, I forgot what was said, but I kind of just brought it up to his attention. So, anyway, but this continued because you can't change who I already knew who he was when I married him. So it's like, okay, I just didn't know this was going to occur because, he had his own place before. He was married before too, but obviously I don't know how he was living. So it was like, it was just all new to me. So, people coming in and out, and it wasn't like every day, but it was like enough. It would definitely every week, like a couple times a week. And it was just like, damn, like, this is a lot, like, pressure to keep the house up much. Like, but then it was like, the thing is, when we moved to our own spot, so we got our own spot, but it was fucking roach hotel, motel, like, roaches everywhere. And I'm just like, like, first of all, my anxiety and fears, I wouldn't even want to invite anybody over into this house because there's roaches everywhere. Like, I don't want them to have roaches in their pocket when they leave. Like, but it's like people still saw the roaches and they were still coming over and visiting, and I'm just like, I'm so confused at this point because I'm like, damn, like, people really don't care about you not enough to not care about roaches like that, to just be sitting here chilling. I don't know, like, I've never had friends long enough to experience that, especially not at no roach motel. Like, what's really going on here? So I'm like, dang, babe, and then not only that, like, sometimes the house would be dirty because we didn't clean up, and I'm like, dang, babe, can we clean up first before they actually come inside, or can we clean up first before you just be inviting people over? Like, dang, you're not gonna clean up, or you're not gonna help me clean up? Like, what's going on? So anyway, so I'm saying all this, right? And I'm like freaking out. Not that I want them to leave and not ever come back. It's just that, damn, like, it's cool that they're okay with the house being like this, number one, and then when it is clean, the roaches being like this, number two. But at the same time, it's like, dang, I feel uncomfortable because I'm like, I'm not used to it. So, that was just new for me. That was just very new. And even now, nothing has changed. Not that I wanted it to, because it's like, it's nice to, have, what are they, like, step friends? Because they're not my friends, they're my husband's friends. So, but I mean, we're married, so they're my friends, I guess. I don't know how that works, but, I don't talk to them, really. I do, only the ones that talk to me. We'll talk about that later, but anyway. Like, it was nice to have company, honestly. Like, since we had never, like, really experienced that as a family when we were younger. It was nice to have company over and to host a little bit. Like, I'm like, now I see how that is, and I see how it could be. So it was cool. It is cool. Like, because we still do it, because they still come over. I mean, we're in a fucking, excuse my French, we're still in a little bit of a roach motel, wow, roach motel, just with a little bit of vermin mixed in. Lord have mercy. Anyway, so, but people are still coming over, so it's like, nobody really cares, like I was saying. Nobody really cares, which is insane. Like, It's just insane, and it's refreshing because it's like, okay, nobody cares. Like therefore the shame is gone. There is no shame. Like, I don't have a problem now saying like the living conditions. I don't have a problem like just, conquering that fear of, hey, we've got this going on in the house, or we've got that going on in the house is dirty. Like, everybody knows we have kids, everybody knows they can be a mess sometimes, most of the times, 99%. And then, we're trying to clean it up too, and then people are helping us clean it up too. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, so it was very refreshing. And I've gotten over that fear and uncomfortableness of everybody being in my business, like that, being in my space, you know because like I feel like my home is my intimate space where I can just lounge and chill and, I don't know, just chill out. But then it's like, it's okay for people who want to be there. And so then I figured, okay, for the people that didn't stick around, they didn't really want to be there, so that's cool. you know that's fine. It's no skin off my back, really. It's really not. So then, now I'm comfortable with, okay, if somebody else comes along and then they're not meant to stay, then I'll be okay. Like, it's fine. So I feel better. I feel better about that. And I feel better about people actually being in our lives long term anyway. Because, like I said, I don't have experience with long term friends. So, but hey, I'm getting into it. Thanks to my hubs. All right. And actually, me paying attention. Because I feel like a lot of people don't like to learn from other people. But that's another topic for another day. Anyway, hope your day is going great. It's bright and sunny in San Diego. See you tomorrow.